So I'm chatting to Tessa Manning from Fourth and Centre, who received a grant from Energy Consumers Australia to work on her project around engagement with residential consumers, particularly those in the Aboriginal community, tailoring information to make sure that they were getting information that they needed at home to make sure that they could navigate issues like the pandemic and home energy management the best way that they can. So Tessa, probably just, first of all, welcome, and maybe just tell us about the problem you were trying to solve. What did your work identify where that there was an information gap that needed to be filled in a particular way?
Yeah, so at the time that COVID hit, we were running a program involving education about energy efficiency and energy bill support for Aboriginal consumers in regional New South Wales. And we had just come back from a trip where we'd been speaking to people in regional New South Wales about their energy bills. And so we knew from those conversations that there was going to be a need for more support related to energy bills as a direct result of the COVID crisis. And that support, over the coming months, that support was announced. But what was missing was a clear mechanism for getting information about that support to the Aboriginal energy consumers who needed it. So that was the gap that we aimed to fill with this project. We aimed to link the Aboriginal energy consumers who needed support with their energy bills with the support that was available to them.
Great. So based upon the initial work that you did, what were the sorts of things that you found that Aboriginal consumers needed help with, and how did you find that information? Did you collaborate with other organisations or consumer groups or stakeholders, and how did you identify where that gap was?
Yeah, so what we needed to do was to find information about what support was available during the COVID crisis. So to do that, we consulted with energy companies, with government agencies, and with community organisations. And then we had all this information that was available to us. And so what we needed to do was figure out how to get that information out to community in a simple way. So we spoke to a number of organisations that were already providing programs and services and support to Aboriginal people. So not specifically energy support. So I'm talking about Aboriginal housing providers, employment organisations, community services. And these organisations are already established in their communities. They're already trusted by the people that they work with, and they already have networks in those communities. So what they said to us was that they were best placed to get this information out to Aboriginal energy consumers. But what they wanted from us was for us to sort of reduce the message into a nice, clear, simple message that was easy for them to share. So that's what we did. We worked with them to develop that message.
You've commissioned a particular artwork and style to put this information on a nice, beautifully presented one page kind of poster, as you mentioned. Just tell us a bit about how you went about commissioning that person and how you reached out to them, and the kind of cool creative poster concept that they made.
Yeah, so through the consultation we did, a resounding message that we had from the Aboriginal organisations we were speaking to was that they would really love a simple poster that was shareable by social media. And posters of that sort already existed, but there was nothing specific to energy bill support and nothing that particularly targeted Aboriginal consumers. And so we thought that that was a really great gap to fill. And the reason we loved that idea was that a poster is easily shareable by organisations of all types and sizes. And it's also easily shareable by community members who receive that information as well. So we used Supply Nation to commission our amazing Aboriginal artist, Jasmine Creation. And then we worked with her and with a number of the Aboriginal organisations who were ultimately going to share the poster for us on the design. And the design included a number of features that those Aboriginal organisations and our artists thought would really resonate with the people who we were targeting, particularly using some traditional Aboriginal symbols.
Maybe just tell us about the distribution and how far this poster was seen and what group shared it, and about some of the successes in terms of getting it out there.
Yeah, so at the time that we started this project, we were in the middle of the lockdown. So the Aboriginal organisations that were sharing the poster for us had to the most part, closed their physical premises, which is why they wanted a poster that was shareable via social media. And so the poster was originally intended to exclusively be shared via social media. And we had a lot of success with that in the early days. So the poster was ultimately shared by about 200 Aboriginal organisations via social media. And through the course of the project, as things changed related to the lockdown restrictions, some of the organisations that were sharing the poster reopened their physical locations to their clients, and they requested hard copy posters, which we provided to them. And they then told us that they were then able to facilitate face-to-face conversations with their clients using that poster. So that was a really great outcome.
Apart from the reach of the poster of all the organisations that used it, is there any more anecdotal kind of comments about the information on that poster being absorbed and used in the home, and about some positive effects that people have said that they have received from having viewed the poster?
Yeah, so we had some really fantastic feedback through the Aboriginal organisations from the Aboriginal people who viewed the poster. And they said that the information was clear and concise, but probably most importantly, they said that it was really useful. And one of the key messages on the poster was for Aboriginal people who needed support with their energy bills to contact their energy retailers about the support, because the energy retailers were sort of acting as a hub for the support that was available to them. And so we heard through the organisations that were sharing the poster that quite large numbers of Aboriginal people did contact their retailers to access that support.
Well, it's been a really amazing project and some great results that you've just outlined. If people want to find out more information about some of the kind of foundational research and thought behind the project, as well as the poster itself, which we'll show in this video, where can they find more information if they want to explore?
So people can find more information about the project on the ECA's website, and they can also see copies of the poster that we developed there as well.
Great. All right, Tessa, thanks so much for sharing the results of your grants project with us. Much appreciated, and good luck with all the work that comes ahead off the back of this project. Looks like it's been great. Thanks.
Thanks so much.